example. Well, we have Bradley Bowman joining us. He's a senior director at the Center on Military and Political Power and the Foundation for Defense of Democracies to help us break this all down. So, Bradley, tell us, why are the heads of the state of these different countries, attending this meeting? I mean, why now? What is the significance of this timing?
Thanks for the opportunity to join you. The short answer is Beijing's aggression. You know, this grouping of the U.S., Japan, Australia, and India has been around for a while. It's an informal grouping of like-minded countries with democratic principles and common interests. But it actually started in 2004, really focused on humanitarian assistance and disaster relief, and it was revived in 2017. Now it's becoming more than that. You're right, it's not a NATO alliance or anything like that, but there is increasingly a security element to it. And the primary reason for that is the increasingly aggressive behavior of Beijing. Really, wherever you look, whether it's on the border with India, in the seas and skies surrounding Taiwan, in the Senkakus, Japan Senkaku Islands, and Hong Kong, policy toward Australia, we see an incredibly aggressive approach from Beijing. And this is a natural response by four of the world's leading democracies saying, we stand for a free, open, and inclusive Indo-Pacific, and we stand against aggression by Beijing.
Now, what are some of the issues that these nations have had with China that has led Beijing to accuse them of being anti-China? Obviously, the issues vary country to country.
They sure do. It's a great point. Well, I mean, you know, you had Indian soldiers bludgeoned to death by China. I'd start with that. You see almost daily incursions by Chinese military aircraft and vessels into the zone of Taiwan. You see aggressive similar actions in the Senkakus. Like I said, you see kind of a coercive economic behavior toward Australia. You see them setting aside their international obligations in Hong Kong, not to mention the horrible things that they're doing to their own people in Xinjiang. So all this paints a picture of a regime in Beijing that as it gets more power and becomes more prosperous, and as it undertakes the most significant military modernization in the history of the People's Republic of China, they're increasingly willing to use that military force to try to push the United States back and bully their neighbors. And the Quad is going to stand against that.
So what do you think, the main issues will be that are on the table at this summit, and how do you think China is going to react?
You know, China is going to continue to say what they've always said, that this is an anti-China coalition. It's not an anti-China coalition. It's an anti-Chinese aggression coalition, I'd say, among other things. But some of the things they'll focus on will be maritime security, cyber issues, counterterrorism, countering disinformation, and humanitarian assistance and disaster relief. So there's so much more here than just security. Mm-hmm. But because of China's aggression, it's increasingly about what these four countries can do together to support a free, open, and inclusive Indo-Pacific, being able to fly and sail where international law permits.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Bradley, and breaking that down. I'm sure we'll have you back soon once we see this summit get underway. All right.